Alrighty. Greetings. Come on in. Greetings. Goddess Fatima's here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and friends, y'all come on. Start coming on in the room. Greetings. Greetings, Barbara Martin. Greetings, Dre. Greetings to you all. Thank y'all for coming on in and joining us tonight on Tuesday night. All right. Thank you. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, wow. I thought I gotta get now. I thought I was coming in after him, and I'm just now getting a notification. I think that Ty is going live right now too. I thought he did I don't know. I can't, child. I can't remember my schedule, let alone his. But I thought that Ty went earlier. I thought he went live at like 8 or 9 o'clock. So I didn't realize we were going at the same time. I try not to conflict. I know I don't do daytime. But Fatima, if you can send him a note, we got to get his schedule because I don't want to, I don't want to go head to head with him. Especially he's been so supportive of me, so I don't want that to appear to be disrespectful. Does that make sense what I'm saying, you all? That you don't want that to appear to, appear to be something and it's not. Because actually I thought he was on and I had a busy day, so I took a nap and was trying to get myself together. I need everyone to like as you come in. If you can, please like, click the like button. Make sure that you come as you just make it the next thing that you do. You come in, click like. Come in, click like. Greetings to you all. Please like, share, like and share, like and share, like and share, like and share. Share for those of you that are still on Facebook. Definitely share me over there on Facebook. Definitely share me on all your social media platforms, all that good stuff. Greetings to everyone that's coming in. We'll just do a little chatter as we get folks in. Thanks to those of you that are tuning in. Yes, John Miles. Yes, we are finally back. All right, someone is asking how was the convention. AIM was great. AIM was really I talked to a couple of people today and they were saying, oh, it was in Phoenix, and now watching the videos and watching the live streams, they were saying that they wish that they had gone, that they wish that they had uh, that they had wished that they had attended. And so I was saying, you gotta just just go to the meeting, because anyway, wherever we are, Kojic is like a big dysfunctional family. So you're gonna have fun, you're gonna see your friends, and you're gonna, if nothing else, you're gonna have great fellowship. So even one of the ones that turned out to be really good was when we went to Columbus, Ohio. Everyone was talking about, uh, um, I don't want to go to Columbus. It's nothing to do in Columbus. Shoot, Columbus um wound up being a good meeting. So it just depends. But it was good. Enjoyed it. It was good. It was good and hot. I did stay. A few people were talking about that. I did stay over and got me some chill time. No, it wasn't in Columbus, Ohio this time. I'm talking about a couple of years back. It was in Columbus, Ohio. And so I stayed over, and then got back and went right into um Larry Reed's Reformation. And so it was, and then even though I was back in Atlanta, it still felt like you was away, because we were in the hotel just for the convenience of being able to be right there for the conference. And he had a really good conference. He just sent me a clip a little while ago of me uh, his red carpet. And I was like, I don't like to watch myself. I don't like watching myself. So to see it, I very rarely, even with the podcast, I very rarely watch my interviews. I do not care to, I don't care to see myself on camera. And um, I do not uh, care for my voice, the whole, the whole thing. So it's always a lot. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. Got a lot to got a lot to talk about. All right. Yes, we will be talking about. I'm trying to place him like he's one of these guys where I'm looking at him and I know that I know him, but I'm trying to place him. And then it was, I want to say, maybe a couple of years back. Um, he was like, well, I think was it that year, that the last year that the gospel music workshop was in Atlanta. I'm trying to think, is that the same kind of heavy set guy that was doing a lot of singing? And he was in Atlanta doing a lot of singing. Then we went somewhere. Todd Hall preached. He sang there, and then he was like right back for the Stellar. So I'm trying to place if that's the same guy. But we're definitely going to dig into that on tonight and to discuss it and really discuss, where and we've got to continue to have this conversation. We got to continue to have this conversation, and it's a conversation that is difficult. It is really a difficult um it is really a difficult conversation to have. It is really a difficult conversation to have, because you're getting to the point where it's what's going on with us? You know, what's going on with us? And we need to have a very, very serious conversation about what's going on with us, what's going on with church, and what's going on in this whole mindset of people. I'm let me I struggle with my words because I know you all say that I'm so harsh and I say things so direct, but what is it? How can you be representing God and so evil? You know, so I just talked about this. What was that? Was that Sunday night? We talked about people that have been molested and being robbed of knowing and finding out who they really are. And you never know who you really are. And then it's happening, and it keeps happening in church and with church people. Some people, someone over here on Instagram is saying very easy. I don't. How is it easy? How is that easy? How is that easy to? And maybe we just need to just jump in right now. But how is it easy for you to be a pastor, a bishop, a praise and worship leader, or whatever you are, and you are molesting kids? Like, how is that? I mean, how do you reconcile that? How do you come to the resolve of that in your heart, in your mind, in your head? You know, like, at what point do you say, wait a minute, is something wrong with me? Like, I mean, and then you do, how long do you think you're going to do it and get away? How long do you think you're going to do it and get by? I mean, are we that dizzy? Because if that's the case, then we need to just, fold up, close the doors, wrap it up, and it needs to just be a wrap. Come on. And it just needs to be a wrap. It just needs to be, you know, over with. How are, I don't know. It's like at some point, don't y'all, when y'all do something wrong or you do something bad, don't you, um, I mean, if you run a red light, don't you just like at sometimes be like, oh man, I just ran that light. If you have some kind of conscience, if you just not, oh, I hit a squirrel. Oh man, I didn't mean to kill that little bad squirrel, even though he didn't have no business running out in the street or running out, in front of your car or whatever he did. All right, so it says we got someone over on Instagram that says, okay, yeah, okay. And so we, you know, I don't even know how to describe it. The sickness, so they're saying that the sickness overpowers. I think that you get to a place where it, one, this is the first thing. The first thing is we don't really believe what we say we believe. Like, we really don't believe the Bible. We really don't believe that there's a heaven. We really don't believe that there's a hell. We really don't believe that. You really don't believe that. Because if you believed it, it would be, your whole situation would be different. You would live and conduct yourself in a different capacity. You understand? If you really believed it. If you believed it, you're not going to be running around sexing your members. If you believe, if you believe, if you really grab home and you in the word and you believe the word and you believe what the saith. All right, Marquise Show says, I knew that choir director from New Orleans was a pervert. He came to our jurisdiction musical. Something uh something picked up in my spirit. All right. We really don't believe in God Almighty. I yes, I agree with you. I think that we get to the point where it's just sort of like rhetoric. It's sort of like business as usual. Okay, someone else says they do believe it. All they have to do is repent, right? But see, even when you repent, there's still consequences. See, there's consequences. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. There is still some consequences. Your mama and daddy loved you, but if you got out of line, they was going to whip you. They were going to put you on punishment. There was going to be some consequences for your bad actions. And there's going to be some consequences. You're not going to be able to just run around and I mean, and I'm just trying to even figure out like how do you do it? I don't know where you go in yourself. Where do you go? What is it that you do? Now I know we can make mistakes. I know we can make some mistakes. I know we can, we can get involved with some folks. We can have some relationships that we shouldn't have. We can get into there's some we're human beings, so there's some complicated and complex things. I think I should turn this light on. That that affect us, or that have or take part in you know in our human experience. But at the end of the day, and then this is the part that gets you. Like, have y'all ever thought about how you may know this kind of thing is for those that have you ever felt like, how did the wool get pulled over my eyes? Have y'all ever thought about that? Like, how didn't I pick up on it? Okay, but doesn't God forgive all? This is the God forgives. I think this person is trying to play devil's advocate. So are you really, now, because let me go on and give you the attention that you want, okay? Because God forgives, God loves everybody. He loves the child molester, he loves the murderer, he loves the uh adulterer, the liar, and what have you. But are you really trying to say, are you really trying to justify, because there is forgiveness within the word, that it makes being a pedophile okay? Is that what am I hearing what you're saying? Because I don't need your like or your view. Because if you're that sick and demented in your mind, I don't want you in any kind of way associated with me at all. I know while you're trying to be quote unquote funny, let's be fun, let's be funny. Because if you are a sick child molester and you are demented in your mind, uh, if that's what you are trying to do, and you think coming on here and posting that asinine type of a comment is being funny. We're talking about children and we're talking about people's lives here. And it's not funny. And I don't care how well he forgives. There is a penalty for sin. There is going to be a spiritual penalty, fool, and then there's going to be a natural one if you get caught. Okay? So if you sitting up here trying to use that the Lord forgives, and we thank God for his forgiving power, and we understand that without the shedding of his blood, there would be no perpetuation for sin. We understand that. But that is not a justification for you to go out and perform and commit hideous acts. The Lord is going to forgive you for that person that you may have taken unalived. He will forgive, but there is going to be a penalty. Okay? So that's what you need to understand. And if you are that sick and that demented, in which you feel, just because the Lord, and we understand forgiveness, that does not mean, that doesn't give us a carte blanche to go out and just live any kind of unrighteous way. That doesn't give us a justification. All right, greetings to everyone. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're already getting started. Thank you. I need everyone, if you can and will. A big shout out to my friend Robert Ware is on. Elder Robert Ware is on. We already got John Miles. Marquise Show is here. Catherine Ingram is here. As you come in, let me see some top hats and some bow ties. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Where I was trying to see, I thought Todd went earlier. I didn't know. I didn't want to go up head to head with him. I'm just seeing that that I may have done that, and so we definitely want to let him know. Know that. All right, everyone. The ways to give is up each and every time that we come on. We do have a goal. The Lord has not given me a specific amount on tonight. We're going to let whoever leads out first. We're going to let that be the leading acts for tonight. All right. But we have a very good show. We're going to be talking about gospel singer out of New Orleans, Joshua Kegler, that was unfortunately arrested, has been detained, and has some very, 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 very serious charges that he will be facing. Also got a hot topic on tonight, Todd Tucker. I told you all Saturday night. I told y'all Saturday night that I saw Todd at the up at the Whitley, at the hotel where Larry's conference was and where we were staying. And I told y'all that when he came in, and that he was ducking and trying to I think he well, when he saw me, he came in, circled around, left out, and was trying to I think kind of hide. All right, and Fatima, if you can put the ways to give up on Instagram as well, we are certainly appreciated. Tonight we have let out we thank God for, let's see here. We thank the Lord for, okay, what? We thank God for Tanya Powell. Tanya Powell has started out with a love offering tonight of $20. So that is going to be our axe. That is going to be our axe. Now, if everyone can, or however many of you that can and will match that same 20, but no amount is too large or too small. All right, we have Cash App, we have PayPal, we have Vimo, and we have Zelle. All right, we have all of those ways that you can show some love and some support. All right. So I'm excited. We got a good lineup, some good topics, and some things that we're going to discuss on tonight. All right. I was trying to see if um, I was trying to see if Fatima, can you also go over to the Instagram and post the ways to give over on Instagram? And so we got a lot to talk about. We got Joshua Kegler to discuss Todd Tucker and the situation it seems is going on with him and Kandi. NeNe whispers about NeNe leaks and Peter Thomas that are going on, and we also have some things or some updates over on Bishop Charles Ellis, that is the former presiding bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World denomination. So we have got a good bit to talk about and to discuss on tonight. All right, we got a good bit that we to talk about and discuss. All right, let me try to get over here, and I can uh, post ways to these ways to give over here real quick. Let me y'all just bear with me for 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right, I got it. Okay. Okay, there's and paste. All right, send it. Send it. Okay, and then we can pin the comment now over on Instagram. So the ways to give is pinned on there. Also, for those of you that was not aware, we have started a TikTok. All right. So I need everyone that that follows me, everyone that likes me. I've been even going to the pages of people that was trying to say negative stuff about me and telling them that I got a TikTok, and to follow me over on my TikTok, since I didn't realize I was so popular over there. I am just like it's and like a big deal, or a serious thing that we are over there. All right. Also, as you all come in tonight's show, if you'll be kind enough to click the like button. Can I get everyone to click the like button as they come in? All right. Mother Horcel is in. Greetings. So let's get into our topics for tonight. And I'm gonna tell you, this is just I don't know, it's just something, it's just I, you know like I want us to I was really wanting to think, and uh I was wanting to think and I was wanting to feel like we're getting better. Like the Bible says, and I guess we forget about it. The Bible says that there's some things that should not even be named among the brethren. It's some stuff that we shouldn't even be caught up in, shouldn't even be a part of, associated with our name. And I don't know. It's a lot. It is a lot, and this is really a big deal. This is really a big deal. So let's get on into it. I know that some of you all are probably, uh, y'all may get offended or whatever. I mean, if you do, it's just unfortunate that you do. That if that's in fact the case, because I mean this stuff it's happening. It is happening. It is going on. And it's going on right in our churches, right underneath our noses. And, all these people are saying, oh, I got the Holy Ghost, and oh, I am saved, and oh, I'm this and I'm that. And here you got somebody that because they sing good, or somebody because they play good, or because somebody is a pastor, or somebody's a preacher, they're standing up and they are a predator. They are a predator right in our midst. They're a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, that doesn't bother y'all. Are y'all like this person that is over here on Instagram, where you feel like, oh, because God forgives, oh, it's okay. The Lord is going to forgive him for being a child molester. Oh, so, just go out and do whatever you're going to do, or do whatever you want to do, because God forgives. Like, how stupid can you be? You want to put a child life and situation in jeopardy because you feel like you want to play devil's advocate, and you want to sit up here like you Alice in Wonderland, and like you dumb, special needs, and stupid, like you deaf, blind, crippled, and crazy, and that you are not aware that this is a hideous crime. Like, how stupid can you be? That's where I am, Edward. That is where I am. Let's just close the doors. Let's just close the door. What are we doing? Okay, this is Glenda Peggy. Let's see who this is. Let's see who this is over on Instagram that wants to come up. Let's just, yeah, let's just end this. Let's stop creating these safe havens for this type of diabolical behavior to persist. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. Hey, La Princia, thank you. Okay, so they declined. I don't know, maybe they was trying to come up. Okay, let's get into, so now it is finally getting all over. Okay. It is, and this is going to, rightfully so, this is going to be everywhere. So let's get right to it. Gospel recording artist, high school. All right. I'm sorry. A high school choir teacher faces multiple felony charges. Joshua Kegler, a teacher at several New Orleans high schools, was arrested on multiple felony counts related to sexual exploitation of minors. You hear that? You hear that, Instagram person that talking about, oh, God forgives. Okay, listen, I want you to listen very, very clearly. I want you to take all the wax out of your ears so that you won't appear, so we won't, and maybe so that I can feel like you're not a predator, or that there's not something mentally, emotionally, and psychologically very seriously wrong with you. All right, a local award-winning gospel artist and Warren Easton High School teacher is facing multiple felony charges related to sexual exploitation of minors. New Orleans police took Joshua, known as Josh Kegler, who is 38, into custody on Tuesday morning and booked him into the New Orleans Justice Center on 5 counts of trafficking children for sexual purposes, 5 counts of indecent behavior with juveniles, 1 count of third-degree rape, and 1 count of sexual battery. What in the world? Okay, someone says that they're going, so this is said it was getting out of. I thought you tried to come up. I had tried to click the link for you to accept you to come up. And sexual battery. Let's deal with this. Let's deal with this, because it is serious. Okay, let me see here. Okay. All right, so let's get further into the details. This is according to Kegler's arrest affidavit. The charges stem from a complaint by the mother of a 16-year-old boy about concerning text messages on her son's cell phone. She described the messages from an adult man as sexual in nature. The report also stated that the boy told investigators that he had been approached by a teacher from Warren Eastern Charter High School. The teacher was later identified as Kegler. The boy stated that Kegler invited him to his home to smoke marijuana. Okay. Um, Invited him to his home. According to the affidavit, Kegler began paying the boy for sexual activities. Investigators said that the 16-year-old boy objected when things escalated from Kegler observing him to Kegler making physical contact. The boy reported that all incidents occurred at Kegler's home and that Kegler either personally picked him up and dropped him off or arranged for a rideshare service to transport him. He also told investigators, now, there's a problem right there because that's going to be a suit against the ride share because you are not supposed to be a minor is not to be able to get in a car without an adult if they're not 18 years of age. Okay? So there you're going to have a problem. Here in Atlanta, there was a Uber driver. There was an Uber driver that what's that game, Roadblocks or Road something, that the kids are playing, and you can link up or connect with other people that are playing or that are live online. And the man sent a car to pick up the child and bring the child to him. So a lot of times, even and I was a high school teacher. You can have a 16, 17-year-old and they get, the girls' breasts are forming, they look like young adults. The guys, they have mustaches coming in. You have to be very, 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 very extremely careful. If a kid tell you that they 18, 19, 20 years old, back, stay back. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not that age, and they're lying because they want to participate in that particular act. And you're going to be the one that life is going to be totally turned upside down and it destroyed as a result of it. If they telling you they 20 years old, they 17. That's what that means. All right, the boy reported that all incidents occurred at Kegler's home and that Kegler either personally picked him up and dropped him off or arranged. The entire time that I was a teacher, I never was one-on-one with a child, and I never had a child in my car. If I had a child that was misbehaving, I stood with my back in the crease of the door. I held the door open with my foot. I could look at my classroom and I could look at the child as he or her stood in the hallway. If I was disciplining them and assigning them to detention, I locked my door and made them stand their tail in their hallway until I wrote their detention slip, and then I went back over to the door, opened it up, handed it to them, and told them to take their behind down to the office. And then it was a yard duty people that was job was to secure the halls to make sure that the kids went down there. And then we either walkie-talkied or we called from our phone and said, Edward Lawson has been put out of my classroom and should be reporting to the principal's office. Then what they would do is then go and walkie-talkie. Edward Lawson is somewhere in the hallway coming from either Mr. McCrae's classroom, class number such and such, and should be making his way to the principal's office. If he did not arrive to the principal's office, then what? A truancy officer was then made involved, and that badass child was what? Detained. You don't be taking no child. I don't care how good they sing. I don't care how good they play football or basketball or whatever they do. If your mama and daddy who got into bed, crawled up and lapped up on top of each other and did all manner of sin and evil to bring your no good tail into the world, then they are going to have to make provision for your no good behind to get to your practice. It is not my obligation. I am due to stand in front of you and conduct this class to the best of my ability and make sure that you learn U.S. history or economics, and that you are in decent preparation to graduate and complete your high school matriculation. That is the end of my obligation to your nappy-headed child. That's where it starts and that's where it ends. I'm not giving you no ride. I'm not giving you no money. I'm not helping. I don't know. I do not know. Go to your guidance counselor. You need resources. Take your tail. Instead of going to lunch, go down and see your guidance counselor so you can get some resources, so you can get some help and whatever it is that you need. You hungry? I can't feed you. I'm sorry. That is not my obligation. That's not what I was hired to do. I taught I taught U.S. history and econ for 11th and 12th graders. I didn't like little kids, so I wasn't gonna be able to do that. I dealt with young adults, with teens. All right, let's get into more of this. The report also stated that the boy told investigators that he had been approached by the teacher of Warren Easton Charter High School. The teacher was later identified as Kegler. The boy stated that Kegler invited him to his home to smoke marijuana. Oh, but he's a choir director. Oh, okay. All right. According to the affidavit, Kegler began paying the boy for sexual activities. Investigators said that the 16-year-old objected when things escalated from Kegler observing him to Kegler making physical contact. The boy reported all incidents occurred at Kegler's home and that Kegler either personally picked him up and dropped him off or arranged for a ride-share service to transport him. Okay, so that's it right there. Because all they got to do is go back in your phone and go back in your Uber history or your Lyft history and bam, case code open and shut, close. Okay, he also told investigators that Kegler paid him in cash through a cash app. Stupid, dumb, retarded. special needs. Why are you paying this child for sexual activity and then you leaving a paper trail? At least Bishop Fred Matthews up there in Jackson, up there in Nashville, had enough sense to go and pay J Rock in cash. Police said that Kegler groomed the boy to perform sexual acts and used money as the bait. Kegler was still listed on the Warren Eastern's website as a choir instructor. In a statement, the school confirmed that Kegler was previously employed at Warren Eastern during the 2024-2025 school year. I'm gonna talk to y'all about charter schools in just a moment. Uh, Fatima and Dre remind me in case I lose my train of thought. I'm gonna talk to you about charter schools and these private schools that don't have to abide by the same guidelines that state regulated schools have to abide by. This individual is no longer employed at the school. While we are unable to share specific details due to the privacy laws and the active nature of the investigation, we can confirm that we are fully cooperating with the New Orleans Police Department. The safety and well-being of our students is and always will be our top priority. He previously taught at two other New Orleans area schools, including George Washington, Carver, and McDonough, 35. A spokesperson from the New Orleans Public School also stressed that student safety. To that end, the New Orleans Public Schools have been in contact with Joshua Kegler, most recent employer, Warren Eastern, and the school is fully cooperating with law enforcement in their investigation. All right, Kegler is also a well-known performer at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival. Uh-oh. Uh, and and with his harmonistic praise crusade, he contributed to the Grammy Award-winning Best Roots Gospel album Church. According to police, the investigation is active and ongoing, and no further information is available at this time. The New Orleans Police Department urges any other potential victims to come forward. See that when they put out that clarion call, that's the noose tied around your neck. All right, because see, then now here they gonna come. Oh Jesus! All right, they urge any other potential victims to come forward. We understand that this may be difficult, but your safety and privacy are our top priority. You are not alone. All right, the magistrate judge ordered Kegler to be held without bond until a hearing on Monday afternoon. He got to sit there till next week. He is facing the following charges: 5 counts of trafficking of children for sexual purposes, 5 counts of indecent behavior with juveniles, 1 count of third-degree rape, 1 count of sexual battery. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the New Orleans Police Department Sex Crimes Unit at 504-658-5523 or anonymously through Crime Stoppers at 504-822-1111. All right, that's it. That's it. That's it. Oh, but over here, you saying God forgive. Oh, okay. Okay. He gonna forgive him. He gonna forgive, but there is yet a penalty for sin. There is a penalty for sin. And he gonna have a good amount of time to sit there and roll back in the recesses of his mind. What could you have been thinking? What could you have? First of all, okay, I want to say this in regards to charter schools. I want you adult people and people that have children, all right? People that have children. I want you to be very, very mindful. We were having this discussion. We were having this discussion this weekend at Larry's event. And I was talking as a former educator to some of the attendees. I'm not for homeschooling. I'm not for homeschooling. I really feel like if your parent, if the school system requires, some school systems, if they require me to have a a uh, a degree, and your mama barely got a GED, she don't need to be homeschooling you. Your daddy didn't graduate, they don't need to be homeschooling you at all. They not qualified. Your mamas and daddy, they dumb and stupid, and they don't need. What are they gonna teach you? They're gonna be rolling out of the bed late. They're not gonna be disciplined. You don't have no bell that's gonna sound that's gonna tell them to get your books out and get started. Mama gonna get a call. She's gonna be on the phone with her girlfriend. She's gonna be watching TV and her soap operas and Judge Judy, and then somebody gonna call her, and then they gonna run up and down the street and do this and do that, and your child is not getting their lesson. Okay, and they're not going to be prepared to go out into a real school system. They're not. Also, children that are homeschooled are poor, don't have good interactive skills with other kids. They don't know how to interact. They don't know how to behave. They don't know how to share. When you get out, you got to have recess time. You got to have activity time. You got to play kickball, baseball, and basketball with other kids. You got to learn how to be socialized and interact with other young people. The other problem that's for homeschool. Problem that I have with these charter schools, a lot of these charter schools get by with regulations and they bend rules, and they are allowing people to be educators and to teach that are not qualified to teach. Y'all don't like this kind of teaching. That's why I only have 58 likes. If everyone as they come in could hit the like button. You are not sitting up, you're getting tuition, or you're getting some state government subsidized money for that charter school, and you're cutting corners, and you're allowing people to teach that don't have degrees, that are not qualified and educated, and then are not taught that we have courses of how to conduct ourselves and how to run a classroom. How does an adult, what is we went over everything with when I was teaching, went over everything is not even appropriate. I never wore jeans and a t-shirt to school. If anything, at best, I was going to be in a golf shirt with a sweater or a cardigan and some slacks and dress shoes. I was not, I never got those children were not my friends. They were my pupils. They were my students. They were not my friends. I didn't interact with them. No. So make sure, those of you that have kids, that you are making sure that your children are in quality places to receive their education. Don't go to these schools and they cutting corners and they getting some government subsidized money, and they don't have qualified people. And then when it's time for you to have parent teacher conference, when it's back to school orientation, go to your child's school, find out who their instructors are. Well, where did you go to college? What was your degree in? How long have you been teaching? Find out. Get their names. Pull their name. All of you that have children, all of you, how many of y'all on here that have children? How many of y'all on here have children? You have a child. Let me get a show of hands. Let me get a show of hands. Raise your hand in the chat. I want a raised hand sign if you have a child. Instagram, if you have a child, put your hand up. And over on YouTube, if you have a child that is in school, put your hand up. I got some information for you. Put your hand up if you got a child. Don't y'all hear me talking while y'all acting so slow? Okay, I got a thumbs up. Shelly has a child that's in school. Who else has children that's in school? Okay, Peggy. Peggy got a child that's in school. G Boy got a child that's in school. TL Myers has a child that's in school. Tanya has a child that's in school. Who else got children that's in school? Who got a grandchild that's in school? Who got a grandchild is getting up that you're going in the next week or two that's going to have to start hitting that bus and going to school? I'm getting ready to give you some very vital and critical information, and you may not like it. Who else has a child that's in school? Oh, y'all don't want to say. All right, somebody said that this behavior is disgusting. If your child is in school, I want you to make a anonymous Facebook page. I want you to make an anonymous fake Facebook and social media pages, and I want you to familiarize yourself with what your child's teacher is posting on social media. Y'all don't like this kind of teaching. You want to know if that person, these teachers are spending more time with your child than you do. You want to know if they gay. You want to know if they a freak. You want to know what they got going on. You make you a fake page. You don't know how to make a fake page? Go to your granddaughter, go to your son, go to your nephew, go to your niece, and have them and say, hey, I need you to make auntie a fake, an anonymous page. Put something up there. Put it on the profile picture. Some trees or some leaves or something, and then when you go to your parent teacher conference, don't miss those conferences. You ain't got nothing going on in your life more important outside of God and your job than your child. Go to those parent teacher conferences. If your child's teacher is named William McCray, you need to be ghosting them on social media, finding out what they post and what they talking about. If they running around talking about a whole bunch of crazy foolishness and stuff like that, then you take your hips down to that school and you go down there to that principal's office and say, I want to pull my child out of so-and-so's classroom. And someone said that the kids don't need to know. Right, because you need a fake page to follow and see what your kids are doing. I'm just telling you what's gonna help you. I don't want somebody that is teaching my child that is doing some over the top stuff and posting it on social media. Now that's me. Now that's me. But see, you so busy and you got something so much more important to do, then you're not going up to the school. The secretary, the principal, they ought to get tired of seeing you coming. And you ought to just pop up. You ought to just pop up sometime unexpected. The teacher don't know they coming, you coming. The kids don't know you coming. What did you do? You just showed up. Watch your children's behavior. Watch your children's behavior. If your kid and you were in a church and Christian or what's supposed to be a Christian home, and then your kid starts acting wild and exhibiting behavior that is not in line with their personality, your kids start cussing or doing certain things, you need to check their group of friends and you need to find out about what is being conducted by their teacher. You need to know these things. You need to know these things. And I guarantee you, now I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say this, and a lot of y'all may or may not like it, but I'm going to go on and say this. I believe in my heart of hearts that some of these people knew about Josh. I believe that some people knew and they turned a deaf ear because he could play good or sing good or do this well. People get by on their gifts and their talents and their abilities all the time. Yeah, okay. What can you? I have someone that asks a very intelligent question on Instagram. If you're concerned about your children and these laws and these things being changed, become an active parent in the PTA. Be active in your child's PTA, and then make sure that you know who is the person that represents the district in which you live on the school board. You need to know who they are, because a lot of times, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not gonna be enough just to deal with the principal. It's not gonna be enough. You're gonna have to go sometime over that principal's head, and you're gonna have to go down to the superintendent's office, and you're gonna have to find out, okay, this person is the district person. When they have those school board meetings, you got to go. You got to go. Your child is priority number one. Derek Mathis, am I talking right? Am I talking right, God? Is Fatima. I'm just asking and giving you practical information. Your child teacher got an OnlyFans page and running around here teaching by day and hoeing and doing porn on the computer at night. You need to know that. Oh, y'all don't like me. Y'all don't like me. Uh-uh. You don't like, y'all don't want to hear the truth. Y'all rather, the Bible talks about it, in the last days, y'all rather believe a lie than the truth. And I'm here and I'm seeing it. This is the reality. Some of this stuff don't even need to be going on. You ain't just started free. This man ain't just started freaking with no child. He's been doing it all the time. And we have set up and cultivated an environment and an institution that makes this kind of perverted behavior acceptable? Yes, we should have stricter practices. Your children should be your number one priority. I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat and see if we have anybody that wants to come up and contribute to the discussion. And what are your thoughts? What are, what are your thoughts? And then don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to, be the parent that presents questions. Don't be afraid to do so. I want to know. I want to have an idea. I want to know why my child is exhibiting certain behaviors. I just dropped the link in the chat if there's somebody that has something that they would like to say, or if they'd like to come up and contribute to the discussion. I think we had someone that was on that was saying that um, is an educator, and perhaps maybe you want to come on. We're at the end of summer. We're going into into the new year. We're going into the new year. Your child is your priority. You don't want your child's life altered and robbed. You want them to have the best type of, be able to live up to the best potential that they possibly can. It's enough strikes against them as young African American children. So you don't need another handicap. You don't need another emotional and psychological. You don't need another trauma. You don't need it. You don't need a withered hand. You don't need to have your child, if you can stop it and help it and do what you can so that it will not happen. Your child, you do not want your child to go through life with an additional handicap, with an additional difficult situation to deal with that forever will plague him or plague her, and that they have to deal with and try to overcome. Am I talking right? Is there anybody that may want to um, jump on and contribute to the discussion? I like that. Okay, so attorney ORJ says, what happens outside of work is personal. Morality is subjective. I want to talk to you. I would like for you to click the link. I would like for you to click the link. You're an attorney already. I am a student of the law, and hopefully, with the Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, I will finish and sit for the bar and become an officer of the court like yourself. But I would like to um, um, I would like to have a discussion with you in regard to that. Okay, Shelly is saying something about we're no longer African American. Elon Musk is African American. I am FBA. My ancestors built this country. All right. Then we have, you better subject yourself to the Bible. What do you do on your personal time with an underage child? Are you kidding me? You must be a pervert yourself. I don't know what I missed over there in the Instagram chat. All right, is there anyone that would want to come up and contribute to? I just think that you, um, attorney, ORJ, I agree with you that your personal life is in fact your personal life. I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. However, I do believe that there are some indications, there are some things that may or may not be appropriate. We have people that when you go to job interviews or when you apply for a job, they're looking at your social media and they're sizing you up and making decisions about you. Uh, okay, he said he's setting up to come on. All right. Uh, so I'm going to hold that for a little bit. All right. We have up the ways to give. We one of our faithful followers laid out with $20. If there's anybody else, I hate that I am late. May I ask what is the discussion? We're discussing Josh Kegler, who was arrested on today for sexual misconduct with minors and facing multiple felony counts, and is presently being held in the New Orleans Justice um, um, facility without bail. All right. Okay, we have 221 viewers and 79 likes. Can we get some more likes up? Can we at least get half of that? I know that you all are probably sitting, or some of you are sitting in the background. Some of y'all are sitting in the background. And I know that everyone is not going to click the like button, but those of you that do like me, I would love for you to click the like button. I would love for you to share with me. While we're waiting for the attorney ORJ to come up, I do have a TikTok. And would like for you all to follow and subscribe to my TikTok. All right, I think I see you, sir. Uh, are you ready? Just give me a thumbs up and let me know that you're ready to be brought up, Attorney ORJ, I'm sorry. Are you ready? Just give me a thumbs up. I'm looking at you. I don't know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you ready? You ready? Okay. All right, we got the thumbs up. Okay, he's going to join our discussion on tonight. Okay. Here we go. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I am doing well, trying to get back in the flow of things, being out in Phoenix and then getting right back in Larry's event this weekend. So this week is my first week kind of back to normality. But I'm doing good. Hi. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, so it was a very interesting topic. So not only am I an attorney, I've been on a school board for almost 12 years now.
Okay.
So of course you deal with parents about tattoos, or teachers maybe having tongue rings, or or what they may post on their social media page outside of work hours. But legally, there's nothing you really can do about it. What they do outside of work. Now, of course, then I've seen in superintendent's contracts. I haven't really seen in a teacher's contract. There is a clause, something about morality.
Right.
But then we know that morality is very subjective. So what you may consider to be okay, I may not.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to tell who's the person who's wrong in that situation?
Right. I would say this. I'm not a parent. I've been a former.
Neither am I.
I'm a former educator. And there was amongst when I was teaching, I will say, there were some of my colleagues that I would not, and I'm very liberal and I'm very liberated. I'm sitting up here with platinum blonde hair, so I'm liberal. But there were some things and some behaviors that were exhibited by some of my colleagues that I did not think were healthy for impressionable young people. And if I had been a parent, I would have been concerned about my child being in their room. It's certain things. Now I know that I'm touching on a slippery slope, because then I open up the door for people to, to discriminate. Now I'm not just saying that. Let's just call it out. I'm not saying that if your child's teacher is a gay man or a gay woman, that's going to be grounds. What I'm saying is that if you on your Facebook page are running around, in Costa Rica or wherever you are, scantily clad and what have you, these kids are getting on social media.
True.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get on there, they're gonna be looking, they're gonna be saying they're going to size their teachers up. The kids are wild. They're going through puberty. Their emotions are a roller coaster. They'll have a full affair with you in their mind. It ain't even it's not even real, but in their mind, they are in love with you. And I just think that there's certain indicators that you can pick up on and say, hey, this may not be the best situation for little Joe, or for Keisha.
So what are your thoughts about profanity being used in the classroom then?
I didn't curse in the classroom. I didn't. I was very, I wore a suit and tie every day.
See, that doesn't happen now.
Yeah, I know.
No.
It wasn't even happening when I was teaching. I wore a suit and tie every day. I was very ORJ. I was very cognizant of my entire behavior from the moment that my car hit that campus until I backed away. I was very conscious of my behavior. Certain things I just did not do. Like I said, I was never one-on-one with the child, or never one-on-one with the student. I was very, very careful with my cell phone. A lot of times I knew of teachers. I knew one teacher, she left her cell phone on her desk. A child got a hold to her cell phone before, the after so many seconds before the iPhone locked back down, and got a hold to some of her pictures. And Miss Charnice, I didn't allow my children to call me by my first name. They were not my friends, they were my students, and I made sure that I lived and conducted myself in such a way that I was very, very, I was very, very careful. My dad was a known preacher and bishop and pastor, and I faced, people calling across country, oh, pass Josh through, because you stopping Josh from being able to play basketball. You stopping him from being able to play football, and this is gonna be his way out. This is gonna be his chance. He flunking my class. He's flunking my class, and I had one of my dad's good friends call me and say, "Oh, Will, you can help this child with a stroke of a pen." I can lie with the stroke of a pen so that they can play ball, so that they would have, And then I was teaching juniors and seniors, so that junior year, was critical, because after that first, semester, first quarter, depending on what kind of system you were on, most kids knew what the next year was going to entail, whether it was going to be college, whether it was going to be community college. They knew what they were going to be doing. So you name it, I faced a lot of it. But I'm thinking about a friend of mine right now, uh, that that teaches, and his Instagram and his Facebook, shocks me.
And I think this is another issue. Most of the seasoned educators have now transitioned to retirement or doing something new. So now you're getting recent college graduates, or either individuals like we talked about earlier that didn't go to school for education, but hey, look, I need a job because I majored in something that's not hiring now. So you get a lot of individuals that are not, I guess, matured to differentiate between, hey, look, my college friend, my college days, to hey, look, I'm in a professional setting. So that
Right.
mindset comes over into the education. I think even now, I still consider myself to be young, but a lot of things that I wouldn't do in front of my mom, I see now that students would do in front of their mom.
Right.
So
Right.
I think it's just a time and age, and everybody's relationships are different. Everybody wants to be, I guess, the child's friend and build rapport with the child until they lack that boundary. And so that's how a lot of this is just like getting out of control. But at the end of the day, from a hierarchy standpoint on the board, you can't really do anything about it. I remember a situation where we had maybe a group of teachers. They went out, they were smoking hookers and having drinks. Not one teacher, but a group of them, and it was on Facebook. But what could we do about
it? Do that in a private group.
Of course, you can tell them to do that, but you can't terminate them. You can't fire them.
No, you can't terminate, but you can create a
climate,
an environment of what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. I remember I had this friend, oh God, what was her name? Charnice. It was something like that. And she got mad at me. She wore jeans. Sometimes she literally, looked like she just rolled out of bed. You know what I'm saying? She was very curvy, had a bad shape. And I was like, girl, you coming in here with all this cleavage. Like, why are you coming in here like that. You know what I'm saying? With I just think that we have to create a situation. Big Mama told me an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And it's some things that are preventable. And I just don't believe, sir, I do not believe that there, I know you can be judgmental, or I know it's a slippery slope, but I just believe that there was somewhere along the road indication that something may not be right.
I do. I believe that. Um, I don't want to sound insensitive either.
I understand.
Where we are now in society, everybody, of course, and I like this in certain cases, everybody's lawsuit happy.
Okay.
So I think a lot of times, I think parents have plenty of signs, are fully aware of certain things that are going on, and they don't step in to correct it until it's actually too late. And then now, hey, look, well, I might as well say something about it because it may be something down the road for me about it. Or maybe the parent may not know, hey, look, I need to do something about it. They go talk to somebody else and somebody tell them, hey, look, well, you know, you can probably get this if you do this right here. And then they step in and do it. And so a lot of times I don't think the action, not saying that parents don't love their children, not saying they don't want the best for their children, but there are certain situations where parents will make moves that are selfish for their own personal gain.
Wow. And I think you're hitting the nail on the head because, you know, I go back and to, you know, Cassie, I go back to R. Kelly, I go back to these cases where it became a problem when
After it was over with now.
uh-huh that right there.
Mm-hmm.
See, long as R. Kelly was paying, when those girls were underage and he was paying the parents, it wasn't no problem. Then when they got of legal age and he cut those checks off, then all of a sudden you done had this come to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
This boy, in this case with Josh, was fine, going along, going over to the house, smoking weed, doing only God knows what. The Josh probably felt like, I done kicked you off this X amount of dollars. It's now time for you to deliver.
Maybe it may be time for you to deliver, but deliver may have already been started in the beginning. So it may have already started from the beginning, because I think I read in your article you said something about, I think he was charged like it was a bait or something. I seen the word bait or something in your article that you wrote.
Well, money was the bait. They're saying the money was the bait.
So the bait, he bit the bait the first time, most likely. And so
he bit the bait. He and yeah.
And I think in your article you also said, when I read it earlier, something about the mom, I think maybe noticed the text messages or something like that.
The mother finally saw the text messages, and then once she saw the text messages, then she escalated.
Mom,
but see, you know, how did that same mom not know that this teacher was picking your child up and dropping them off?
That's
you know,
it.
how are you know, in one instance you want to be Alice in Wonderland, and then now all of a sudden you want to have, you know, you want to have this righteous indignation, and you know, and you should not have did this. I have a friend, had a guy uh up in New Haven, Connecticut, up in Bridgeport, Connecticut, I'm sorry. And the bishop's grandson was discovering who he was, and knew that this guy was same gender loving. They happened one Sunday. He was an elder in their church. One Sunday in the bathroom, the grandson says, "Let me see it."
So the child provoked it.
The child provoked it. And he said, if you don't, I am going to lie and tell my grandfather that you did something.
Wow.
They went into his house like the Gestapo at 4:00 in the morning. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you. And my problem with it was, you knew this boy was a little sissy. You already knew. But I don't bite my tongue. You already knew that he was, and now you done ruin somebody's life. And just like what my friend told me, he was damned if he did, and he was damned if he didn't. I'm cornered. We in church. I step out to use the bathroom, and for these 5 or so minutes, my life is quickly altered. I am nowhere alone with a child. If I go to first of all, I wear so much undergarments that I can't hardly go to the bathroom, or I don't like public bathrooms, no way. But if I'm in there just even checking my head or checking my hair or making sure that I'm tight, a kid walk in, William is walking out immediately.
Yeah.
Hands wet, ain't dried off, whatever. I am making a way of escape. I am never. I got folks say, "Oh, why don't you work on the?" Hell no, I'm not going to teach Sunday school. I'm not working with the youth. I'm not doing. I am. Look, I don't halfway want to be around the grown people. Let alone I'm not going to be around. You have to, but ORJ, you got to protect yourself. I love myself. I love my life, and I am not going to put myself in a predicament because I know who I am, and just the mere fact. Now, all of this, it may come down and they may do an investigation, and it may or may not be true.
But the thing about the damage has already been done to the teacher.
Yes, sir.
No matter where he goes, he's not going to be able to.
This is going to follow him forever. And he's still relatively young, 36, 38 or so. Yeah. I mean, his life is totally, he'll never be able to be a you. Mm-hmm. He'll never be able to be an elected official.
Never. I mean, the like the Scarlet Letter. You ever read that book?
Yes, sir.
It's going to follow him for the rest of his life.
And then gonna have to register on that list.
Yes.
Gonna have to Do you mind telling us what jurisdiction where you are?
I'm licensed in Alabama, but I'm also here in Atlanta. So
okay.
I'll be sitting for the one-day attorney exam on next week for here in
Georgia. Good luck to you. I hopefully you will email me so I can get some help and some encouragement. I'm going to be entering this second year. And I'm telling you,
what law school are you at?
Emory.
Okay.
Ooh. And it's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough, but the Lord was my helper. And so
you'll be good.
I hope so.
The first year, to me,
I hope so. Have you had, while you have been on the board, have you had to deal with an issue, something like this or similar to this?
I've had to deal with it from the grown people, where maybe something may have been said inappropriate to another employee. We haven't had to deal with it from a child.
Okay. Oh, so you're saying like misconduct with another teacher to teacher? Or,
yes, maybe a report of allegation or something like that. But most times when they come, they're not able to be validated. So you know, thrown out. But then you end up losing good people because of lies.
Right. So, let me ask you this: can you just give some insight on the regulations for a public state funded school versus these kind of private schools and charter schools that are able to operate and uh, bend rules, maybe have people that are not completely certified or, getting emergency, because I constantly hear about all of those kind of things. And I'm like, how are they in the classroom?
Yeah, so the thing about the charter schools, as you just said earlier, there are no really strict rules and regulations. So if you're in public schools, of course, they are state funded. So there are rules and regulations that you have to follow in order to make sure you continue to get this money. So all of
Right.
our teachers, you have to be certified. And if you're not certified, you have a program where you can be emergency certified, where you have 2 years to get your certification. But
Right.
there are still trainings and different things that you have to go through. Whereas if I go into a charter school, I can have a degree in what economics, but I may not be teaching it. I may be teaching English.
Right.
Then in a private school, you can just go in and do that. And I
Because the principal or somebody likes you.
and if there's no board that have to vote, there's no, I guess, no really vetting process that really takes place. We're just trying to. I think the goal of charter schools is to put public schools out of business.
I think so too.
The more
I saw while I was teaching, I saw that trend coming, and I think it's that, and then I think it's a demographic of people that want to control what their kids are exposed to. Huh?
it's a money situation.
Right.
Because with I don't know, a lot of people may not understand that per child, we get a certain amount of money in public schools to fund their child. So I'm on the school board in a very small rural district. And so we don't have a lot of programs like in career tech and different things to offer our students, but we don't have the number of students to be able to get the funding to hire those teachers to bring those programs in.
Right.
To charter
So
schools,
it's a catch-22.
Charter schools, you may have these programs over there, but you got outside donors that it may be something in the mix for them that's coming in on the back end, and so they're able to do more. And you have a lot of teachers that, hey, look, I may do 25 in the public schools. I'm going to retire, and then I'm going to go into a charter school.
Yeah, I was always aware that the regulation was very, very different, and I know you had some people that was even working and trying to finish their degree, and they were teaching in some private schools, because I know APS was operated very, very differently from Fulton County. Like Fulton County, you can, you basically can be a warm body and, able to get in, because now, I mean, it theoretically, people don't want to teach. They don't want to. And so now you just, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, whoever we can get to stand up in front of this kid, for 6 to 7 hours a day, and let you're opening up them to it, and then that's where you become susceptible to all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. It is amazing. When you said, so have y'all faced a situation with a teacher or with someone that was in higher education that may have had a wild offline personal life?
We have. And the only thing you can do is just, hey, look, let's be mindful about what we are sharing.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have to realize that, again, I tell you, a small district. Maybe, Atlanta may be different, but Atlanta's real small. I'm learning. What your reputation, what they know about you. Just because I know you, I may know your mom, I may not want my child in your room, so I'm gonna have to deal with crazy complaints that come from parents for personal reasons. That may be outside of whatever they're doing in their personal life.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take that in consideration. But we have had an experience where things have been on social media, pictures haven't gotten leaked accidentally that were not appropriate. And you couldn't fire them, but I recall in one situation, because of the embarrassment was so heavy, because the picture ended up being leaked system-wide and community-wide, I think the employee just decided to resign based on that.
I remember at one time, I may go back, I was the region vice president of the Alumni Association for my alma mater. And we had a resident director that was found out to do same gender loving adult content. And I mean, you knew that he was, good looking, muscular body or whatever, but I mean, that flew through his stuff flew through the school like wildfire.
And what did they do to him?
They legally, like what you're saying, they could not um directly fire him. They could not do that legally. However, us as people of a darker hue, we can create an environment
that you want
that is so uncomfortable for you that you're not gonna want to be you're not gonna want to continue to be working. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it was just, I mean, it's a mess. You had an all-male school. You're the resident director of a full dorm. You live on campus. A part of your, compensation package is free room and board. And, people are clicking and subscribing to your OnlyFans and passing your videos around. I mean, it was, when I tell you, it was absolutely a disaster.
And so he just resigned.
He eventually, it just got to be too much. And then what he had told me that really made it too much, it got to be to the point where the students was consistently trying them.
Wow, and that was just I guess a big risk for the university.
So it was. It was bad. It was bad. I think he made it easy for everybody because he just eventually resigned. But yeah, it was. I mean, and because it was just like what you said, what do we do? Because if you push too hard on him, he was going to be able to sue, the institution. He was going to be able to sue us. So, what do you do in this instance? And it was,
you can offer a severance packet and see, hey, look, what can we do just to part ways?
Yeah. And eventually that's, that something very similar to that happened. Mm-hmm. We had another case with a pillar in the Atlanta community. And this had nothing to do with school. Absolutely nothing. He met a woman on Craigslist and invited her to his house for them to do what adults do. She was consenting, and he, cashed them out. She got what they supposedly had agreed upon. Got payment, left. Do you know she came back with her boyfriend and like 5 or 6 of his buddies and a senior vice president of our institution was at, and so she played it off. He was still naked, had just, finished what they had done, had taken a shower, blah, blah, blah. Because, I was close to him. So I was like, child, I want to know what it, well, I'm going to line by line and precept by precept of what went down. And he was like, well, we had did it. I cashed her out. had taken my shower. She called and just did the famous line, I forgot such and such, such and such. Sure enough, whatever it was, he, went back and found it. And she comes back, tap, tap, tap on the door, blah, blah, blah. He opens up, to hand her whatever the item was that she left, and got bum rushed. Almost like how Aretha Franklin's daddy did. Got bum rushed, full nude. They told him at gunpoint, lay down on the floor. And one of them had held him at gunpoint while they ransacked his house, took this, took that, took jewelry and everything. And some of his friends was like, dude, you're going to have to take this on the chin. He was like, hell no, I'm not taking it on the chin, because he had cameras and all of that. So he went, Atlanta PD filed and what have you. And he was asked by the Board of Trustees and the president at that time, we need for you to take an early retirement.
That wasn't right.
There is a thing, sir, that is called a standard.
I wholeheartedly understand it, but how that played out, that was criminal activity. I mean, he was robbed. He was set up. He was robbed, and so whatever they decided to do, they were 2 grown people that had agreed to do what they were going to do. So how did that affect his role in being whatever he was at the university?
Because your name and your face is all over TV, and somebody said, you know what I'm saying, and it don't look good. You know how we as Black bourgeois people,
I wholeheartedly,
we have this standard, and you know. And Morehouse says, Dr. Benjamin Elijah May said that over the Morehouse holds a crown. She holds a crown over the heads of her students, that she challenges the men to grow tall enough to wear it. You can't be defiled and not and still be here and be a VP, and you behaving in such, First of all, we got to know that you buying coochie on Craig's.
I mean,
because I'm sure you feel those pressures. You're an elected official. You're an attorney. It's just certain things. It's not even an option for you.
And that's one of my areas. I work on brand protection. So your name, your name is your brand. And so once you tarnish that, it's very, very hard to get it back. However, in that situation right there, that is, again, like you said, it's a slippery slope, but he had every right to press damn charges on him and go forward from there. Now, how they linked up, that's something totally different.
Right.
Maybe the story could have been, and that's why people need to hire a publisher. If you got the money, that's what I learned. A lot of people don't like to invest money in accountants, publishers, and attorneys.
Okay.
They don't like to put money there because they feel like it's too much money there. But when you can't talk, you need somebody to talk for you, to word things correctly so that you can control the narrative of what gets out there. So maybe the Craigslist part could have been covered up, or some kind of way it could have been worded different to just kind of get to the meat of the situation, because it wasn't about the Craigslist. It was more about the robbery that took place.
Right,
So
exactly.
I feel like,
Exactly. And the details of it was that everybody's on the phone, everybody is talking and saying, "Oh my God," and and Diesel is so, and so then it's just, it's just blowing up. It's just going like wildfire, and
that's how we do.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
screen calling
Well,
report.
Matt, I really appreciate it. I would love for you to uh, email me so we can stay in contact. So and maybe I can pick your brain when I start back on get some pointers. Now you're gonna sit for the bar in Atlanta
Yeah, for the Georgia bar. Yeah, so
for the
Georgia has the way once you're licensed in another state, you can do the 1-day attorney exam, which is just the writing part.
right.
So I'm
And
gonna
then you can, and that would be where you'll be able to get your license and
I'll
be
be
able to practice here.
right.
Yeah,
So
it's sort of like I've been looking into that because it's sort of similar to how the state of California allowed Kim Kardashian to self-teach herself and sit, and she's become licensed
but you have to go to an ABA accredited university, I think,
for
before
Atlanta.
before you can do the reciprocity part of it. So if you were licensed in another state for 5 years, you can just waive in.
Okay.
But I'm
But
gonna
now, but also you can do pro hot DJ, right?
right now. I've done cases for them. I've been on YouTube for cases I've held here in Atlanta, celebrity cases.
Oh wow!
I waive in
Like
just
who?
I can.
Well, have you been on TV about it? You can tell
I haven't been on TV about it, but it was a celebrity caught up in a case. It was marriage to medicine. Just look for that. I'm sure you may be able to find it. You'll find it.
Oh, okay. I already know.
Marriage to medicine.
I already know. Oh, wait a minute. Are you were? Did you represent Lisa?
No, it's something else. It's dealing with a car.
Oh, so you wasn't with Lisa Nicole? Okay. All right.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that was a situation that I networked with some other attorneys here in Atlanta and did the Pro Hall BJN. And then I have some other clients that I do for different brand protections.
Oh, I'd love to talk to you about that because I need help in that area because I have a lot of people that steal my content or my image or my likeness, and they are monetized on their social media platforms. Not only are they monetized off of me, but they're monetized and they're making deplorable jokes and remarks about me. And on top of it, and they're getting paid, and it's like it's all over TikTok, it's all over Instagram. I mean, if you Google me, it's like a lot of these people, and in some instances, they have higher numbers than hits, and it's me.
Oh, so you need to tell them to send you your check.
I need it shut down. That's what I'm saying. I need you. Goddess Fatima, you got to connect and get this man's info because Brand, I appreciate you. I thank you for really for coming on and shedding some light in this whole matter. I mean, it's just like it's so crazy and so unfortunate.
It's a very sad situation. I think on both sides.
Yes, sir.
And I'll say this: I don't think you can take somewhere to a place that they don't want to go. So, and we're done with it. We're not going to go back into it. But I don't know what the child may have been experiencing, what the child may have been thinking. There had to be something on the inside that made them intrigued to even go down this road.
Well, predators.
I get the grooming part, the money.
They can see, you can weed out just like a pimp and a hoe. Men can weed out and know what person and what type of personality traits that's going to go for the okie doke. And they know what kind of women is going to go for it and what kind of women are not. Just like Cash Out. when he addressed the court. He said, I'm not proud of everything I've done, but all of these women at one time, they left him on their own free course and their own free will. And each instance, I mean, and he called their names, they came back at their own recognizance.
Yeah, you talked about that last night, but I don't agree with that sentencing. I don't agree with
I think she was I think Judge, and I know her, and I just think that Judge Lightfoot, I think she was very. It was far too harsh and far. He don't need to be life plus 70 years in prison for a kinky sex.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I cannot traffic you if you don't want to be trafficked.
That's it.
Men cannot do to women what they, just like this little boy, they can't do. He was over there because he was getting money and he was doing whatever, and he was already probably curious.
Yeah, and that's why I said I don't think the teacher could take him farther than what he wanted to go. And a lot of this may have been driven by the parent. Of course, as a parent, you're supposed to protect your child, but we're not. We talked about we're not going to go back down that rabbit hole.
Yes, sir.
It's that could be a whole discussion by itself. Because
then just the whole idea about getting in your car.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't gonna have no kid ever in my car. You know what I mean? And no.
And that opened up the part with the car. It opens up another liability for the school district because, hey, look, if it's at 3:00, even though I'm off the clock, if I put that child in my car and I go down the road and I have a car accident, you're not gonna have a $25,000 or $50,000 for me to get. But the school system gonna have that $1 million policy, and guess who's gonna be damn responsible? The school.
Exactly.
So that was another thing. But then we dealing with charter schools here.
Right.
So
but he has dealt with charter and public, so it's gonna be interesting.
Was the child in school or the child in a charter school?
This particular school was the one that he was at now when this arrest made was a charter.
Yeah, this is gonna be
and then it just it goes back into I mean it's just a lot.
Yeah, this is gonna be very interesting.
It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. But like you said, at whatever extent, his life is definitely forever altered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for joining us, sir. I really do. And like I said, please email me. I want to definitely stay in contact, especially about that brand stuff, because that is a tough one.
Yeah, we can get you taken care of and get you through law school. You make it through the second year. Like I said, I pledged when I was in college. I pledged a fraternity, and I tell everybody, I said that experience that I went through becoming a part of that fraternity was the one of the best decisions I think I've made, because it prepared me mentally to get through law school.
Wow. I pledged, but I'm forever a neophyte, because Dean Bellamy suspended my frat 2 weeks before I was to cross.
Oh wow.
Don't even remind me of it. It just breaks my heart.
Yeah, that was one of the best experiences I think that came out of that, getting through law school mentally, because it was rough, and it's not many of us that are in there.
It's not. And it's almost like it's designed for us to fail. And then what the one of the problems that I have is almost as if they're trying to say, as a Black man, you should be thinking in this realm or this way as you approach cases and as you approach the point of law on certain things. And I was like, no, just because, no.
Yeah, our minds.
It's a lot.
Yeah, yeah, our minds are not set up like that because, you know, to be honest, we don't grow up in those type of environments, and we're not privileged to a lot of the opportunities that a lot of the ones that sit beside us have had to get there.
That's
So
right.
yeah, that's a journey, and I salute anybody that, you know, is on that journey, and anybody that I can help get through it. I'm more than happy to get it because it's, again, I think the bar exam, the law school, all of it is a mind game, and once you learn how to play the game, you win.
That's it. I like that right there. You're gonna have to help me with getting wrapping my mind around it and being able to stay steadfast when
All
it
right,
comes to it. Yes, sir.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
All
All
right,
right. I appreciate you for coming up and appreciate you for your insight.
no problem.
Excellent. Excellent.
Have a good night.
You too. All right, y'all. Hey, Todd, what you talking about? You about to leave. And shouts out to the members of the Thai squad that have come in. Ty, where is he? You can't leave me. What you doing? Talking about you tired. You got all day tomorrow to rest. How are you, members of the Todd Squad? Y'all, thank y'all for coming in. Sir, I did not realize, I thought I was coming on after you tonight. I didn't realize that you were on. I would not have, I would have augmented my time either earlier or somewhat later so that we wouldn't have been bumping heads. Is he already gone? Don't tell me, did he leave already? All right, y'all. So interesting conversation. All right, we're right. Man, we are already at our 2 hour mark. Do I have anybody else? Oh, we have one other person. We have one other person. Let me acknowledge them. One other person that gave. We have Tanya Powell and Courtney, both for a $20 offering on tonight. We appreciate them and their love and support of me. I really, 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 really appreciate y'all. So there we have it. Okay, let's get into this. Now, I told y'all, those of you that was watching us on Saturday night, I told y'all about uh, when Ty and I was together. Yes, it was. It was very interesting. I think it was very good um conversation. Oh yes, let me Sharnika, she gave $8.88 over on Vima. And then I want to also acknowledge Sonia for her $10 gift on PayPal, and my friend LD Mackey for $21 through Zelle that came in on yesterday. So we love and appreciate them for for their support very much. Can't do this without you. Okay, so Saturday night, while we, Ty and I, we had it was a great show. We was coming to you from the Whitley uh, Hotel, and where actually all of the Reformation activities was being held. And y'all remember, I told y'all that, and I was telling Ty that I had seen Todd Tucker downstairs in the lobby. And so Todd Tucker had come in the lobby, and he saw me and doubled back, went outside, and then he went outside and like I guess like he was gonna leave, and then he went around to the door over by self parking, and he re-entered the hotel. But when he re-entered, he was like down on his phone and making a beeline straight to the elevator. Okay, so a member, amen, praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus, hallelujah, of the Obnoxious Street Committee sent me some tea. Okay, are y'all ready for the tea? They sent me some good old fashioned tea. And this is what we found. Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kandi Burruss officially files, or the word is that she is officially filed for a divorce from her husband, Todd Tucker, after discovering his secret affair with a younger woman through text messages. Okay. Now, now, let me add this tea. Okay, let me add this. Now, I saw Todd on Saturday night. Why on Sunday night and Monday, why had he worn the same denim shorts and black, white, and powder blue horizontal striped um, golf shirt for 3 days? So I'm just saying. I am just saying it was interesting. It was interesting that Todd was at the same hotel. Todd knows very well who I am. We have seen them taking pictures, interviews, and things of that sort at Hawks games. And so it was interesting that he was at the Whitley and that he wore the same outfit 3 days in a row. Now I'm just saying. Now I have certain outfits that I like, but maybe 2 days. Or maybe you may have, been to work and you came, you ran home and you put on some play clothes. And then after you put on after you took off your work clothes, you put on some play clothes and you may put that same play outfit on the next day, whatever, because you only had it on a couple of hours. So I kind of get that. But when we start going into that third day, so I'm wondering where you put out of the house and you didn't have the opportunity to collect any of your possessions. I'm just I'm just saying they have been an interesting couple. And they're not, they're not on the show. Okay, so let me just go on and say this. It ain't no excuse for you to wear the same thing 3 days in a row, and and that hotel sits directly across the street from two major malls in the city of Atlanta. You're sitting across the street from Phipps Plaza, and you're sitting across the street from Lenox Mall. So there is no excuse. And if you have enough room on your credit card to check into that hotel that has a $250 incidental charge for incidentals over and above your room charge. If you had that kind of access to that kind of money where you had that availability on your car, it ain't no reason that you could not have walked your tail across the street and bought you a new box of underwear and a new short set and outfit to wear. It is absolutely no excuse. All right, John Wayne, Justice Wayne says that Old Lady Gang and Blaze Steakhouse are both closed due to non-payment of rent. I don't know. I'm just saying. Don't be mad at me. Mm. It is interesting. Now you remember that Kandi fell out with Phaedra because of what Phaedra reported, because Carlos King told Phaedra, and she never outed Carlos, but Carlos King told Phaedra about the whole idea about Todd and Kandi wanting to do what they were going to do with um, with Portia. And that was supposed to have been a big lie, and it was supposed to not be true. And Kandi flexed her weight and got got Phaedra and put off of Real Housewives. Oh, okay. I'm just saying, isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting? He was walking around the hotel. All right, y'all. Okay. That was some exclusive tea. Okay, who is going to? We need if I can get $60 more, we'll have a good night. Is there anybody else that will join in and uh give something? Target is on the what you call, Nicola says Target is on the other corner if we wanted to go cheaper. Hello. The restaurants are closed. All right. Thank you. Tanya Higginbotham just did $10. All right. Just 50 more and we will have met our goal for tonight. Is there anybody else that'll help me? This is a mess. Oh. And you know, so now we got this whole thing. Y'all have already heard this is old news about Kenya in the house and all of, you know, her finances and stuff being in shambles. It is these whole reality shows is a catch-22 because you put on these reality shows and the whole thing is that you have this lavish and luxury lifestyle, and you may or may not really have that. It may be a lot of stuff that is on loan to you, and then a lot of this stuff is matter of public record, and then you get caught up and you're looking kind of crazy because it's all just for show and for image, and it's not necessarily for real. I didn't get close enough for the wedding ring. Okay, so now you know that NeNe is doing a podcast over on YouTube. And she recently did an interview with Cynthia Bailey's ex-husband, Peter Thomas. And so people are questioning the interaction between Peter and NeNe. Okay, what's definitely not true? JJ Badass says that something is definitely not true. What are you referring to that is not true? Hey, Smarter Green, greetings to you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Is there anybody else? We are just $50 away from reaching our goal for tonight. All right. Anyone else? I would be most grateful and appreciative. So, do y'all think that that's uncommon? Is it uncommon for men and women, like when they divorce uh, or when one of their spouses pass away, to start going with a friend of their spouse? Do you think it kind of helps remind them or be reminiscent of you know who they were, or that they're the loved one that they miss? Do you think? I don't know if I could see. Can y'all see NeNe and Peter together? Because you remember that one episode when she was calling Peter a bitch, and she was saying that he was getting in women's business, and that he was acting like or thinking that he was a housewife. Do y'all remember that? So I was just trying to figure out if that could be real, that they could, hook up or get together. Because, NeNe's husband Greg did pass away. So, all right. Okay, so Nicola says no way because Peter is broke. All right. Anyone else? We've been on for two hours. All right. Good evening. Someone says good evening, my favorite sir. I would never date the friend. And I can't see the rest of it. I need to wait until another comment comes up. So I can, push it up, scroll it up so I can, so that I can see it all the way. All right. Anyone else? We are $50 short. And I got 268 of you that are still with me. Any lottie dottie, anybody? We have the ways to give. We have it over here on Instagram. We have it over here on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube, we have PayPal, we have Vimo, and we have Zelle, as well as Cash App. Okay, so I Washington says, "Good evening to my favorite sir. I would never date the friend of my spouse or a friend that makes me think that they had something going all the time." Ooh, very, very interesting thought. Very interesting thought. Very, very, that is an interesting perspective. All right, TJ Hill. I'm sorry. Uh, I'm sorry I said their name before. All right, thank you for the anonymous giver that just did something. Okay, we are now, let me see here. All right. We are 42 bucks away, just 42 bucks away. And I am out of here. We can call it a night. I guess I'll talk about Bishop Charles Ellis on tomorrow, the former presiding bishop of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World Church, has been called out by y'all saying it is a woman. Okay. Everybody want to say that it's a woman. Oh, okay. Okay. It's a woman. All right. All right. I'll let y'all have that. Y'all say it's a female. Okay. Is there anyone else? Anyone else that's going to show their love and their support for good old Sir William? Anyone else? I know, I know that it's, you know, Miss Hyde, anyone. I'm just asking. I'm looking at 42 more bucks for a good night. Do we have anybody? I've got to bring my prayer and prophecy back. It's really been on my heart heavy about the prayer and prophecy. It really, 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 really has. Okay. Washington is laughing. I'm not sure what they're laughing about, but haha. All right. Anyone else? Is Trey already gone for the evening? Fatima. I need everyone to start following me on my TikTok page. I believe that is in the link is in the chat. If everyone can start following me on my TikTok page and on my Twitter and these other platforms that I am on, definitely, as well as my Instagram and all the other platforms. Still trying to see, still sending emails and trying to reach folks at Facebook on a daily basis. Okay, anyone else? I need your help. I need your help. Let me know. Let me know, because if we don't get this, I will take tomorrow off. Me and my moderators, we could use a break. Am I talking right? And the thing about it is, to just really be honest with you, it was almost 2 entire weeks that I wasn't on. So it's really not an excuse. I did not I did not do a live I only did one live from AIM. only did live one night, and it was about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and did one live. And then I didn't do a live again until toward the end while I was over in the villa. So now if y'all love me and if you like me and like what I do, that was almost 2 weeks that I wasn't on and wasn't asking for anything. Almost 2 entire weeks. So I'm just saying, love is what it does. And y'all can show me better than you can tell me. And so y'all are showing me on tonight. So maybe we can, Fatima and Trey, maybe we can take tomorrow off and, chill. And see and go from there. Is that fair? I just think that that's fair. I think that that's fair. You all motivate me. You all motivate me. You show me that you love me. You show me that you like me. You show me that you enjoy my content. You enjoy my delivery. I thought we had a great show tonight. Had an attorney and an elected official to come on impromptu and expound upon one of our topics and the legality of it. I mean, come on. This was a great show. All right, we've been on 2.5 hours. So with that being said, I will probably not come on tomorrow. Okay. I just want to let that be known. We have had 2 nights that we have not reached our goal. And so I need to figure something else out and take that time and that energy and that effort and put it for something else that is fruitful. Amen. Amen. Isn't that smart? You don't just keep throwing good money after bad. You don't keep putting time and trying to make something work when it ain't working. Y'all letting me know that you don't like me. Y'all letting me know that you don't appreciate my show and my content. Because if you did, you would support it. And so that's the way that you show your sign and that you let me know. So I appreciate those of you that did. I really appreciate you. I think he said that he was going to bed. I think and so he came, when he came up, the attorney was on, and I saw that he had come up, but I didn't want to interrupt the attorney. And so, while he was yet talking, I think he posted that he was going to bed. So he left. But he does have a channel and he has a show, Badass, that you can always catch him. He has his own show and channel. So you don't have to just catch him here. That he was on, and I believe that he left. All right, y'all. Well, thank y'all. I thank you, Trey, and thank you, Fatima. I appreciate you, and I really appreciate those of you that did show your support. That does my heart good, and just a few people can't carry the weight for everyone else. So I get it, and I understand it, and I understand it fully and completely. Okay. So thank y'all for those that did hang out. And thank y'all for the one, two, three, the four people that did show some support on tonight. All right. Okay. I am out. We're signing off.